Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And this is a 3-inch-ish kind of circle-ish shape cut out of a piece of game board from a board game. And this is a cat I found in my animal box. I used to have a bunch of these. I don't know what happened to them. Probably used them. I'm going to snip that tail off. And see, his teeth are kind of silly and big, but I kind of like that. So instead of cutting those off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a smaller kind of knife. And I'm just going to try to bring those in a little bit. Oh, and I cut them right off. Oh, well. That's not what I wanted to do. Or is it? Maybe that's exactly what I wanted to do and I just didn't know it yet. There's some mold lines that are pretty terrible on here. And even though this is not the best knife to use this for this, it'll do it. And then there's some more mold lines that I'm not really worried about. Okay. So we butched the teeth up, so let's make some new teeth. And to do that, we look in my box of little pieces of wood. There's a tooth. Ooh, pardon me. And there's a tooth. Keeping around the pieces that you don't use from old toothpicks is a great way to save toothpicks. Man, Doom, you are a genius. Yes, I know. So I have two relatively similar sized teeth there. I'm going to get some of those. I'm going to get a little bit of glue. Okay. And I'm going to put that in the mouth. I'm going to get those teeth and stick those in place like that. Okay. And that will do what I need it to do and hold those in place. Okay. So, are those perfect? No. They look doofy. Am I okay with that? For the moment? Yeah. Forever? Maybe not. But I'm going to get a little bit of super glue and some baking soda. Maybe I'm going to get some baking soda. Try this. I have a new baking soda somewhere that I meant to dump in here and I have not got to it. And I'm just going to get a little bit of glue and a little bit of baking soda. And that should clean up a little bit of that problem we were having. And then if there's any weird spots, little mold lines or injection points that you don't like, it's a good time to clean those up. Cool. Now, I don't want to just make a saber-toothed cat. I was reading about aurochs, which are apparently like an extinct super cow. And it was European, not in the US. But they used super US cows in an attempt to bring the auroch back at one point. And when I say they, I do mean the Nazis. So they were kind of nuts. But it doesn't mean it's not a fun idea to make a craft where you combine a saber-toothed cat and an auroch into some superior, extinct, or something that's coming back, maybe, super hunting creature. So I have some elephant tusks that I want to mount somehow. like that maybe. Okay, now shit makes no sense, and that's right where I like to dwell. On the edge of silliness and realness. Yoinks! So I'm just going to drag some glue around. Fill that in. I'm going to get a little bit of super glue and baking soda and make that a permanent home kind of situation. All right. Now, let's get a wire brush. If I can find one. Wire brush. Okay. And I'm wondering, since this plastic is relatively soft, and this is probably a failed idea, but there's some spots where I think we can brush some texture back into it, and I was right. All right, cool. I don't really need to do it too many other places because I didn't do a lot of burn work on here. Look at that. Nice. Nicely done, team. Team, and by team, I guess I mean I, since you're there and I'm here. Take a drink of my nice cold beverage, and let's get this bad boy going. Let's go! That is refreshing and yummy. I am waiting for the day when I can say Yingling, proud sponsor of Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. Even if they would just cover some of the cost. Like maybe send me, so many beverages a week. Okay, we're just going to get a little piece of cardstock and kind of spread that around in such a way. Okay, I think this will be good. Doesn't have to be perfect. What we're looking for is what I'd like to call technical ballpark. I think that's pretty good. There's a couple little problems. Like there's a hair in there. It looks like an eyelash. I unfortunately have very long feminine eyelashes. And there's like a weird groove here where it just didn't do what I want. So I'm just going to get a little bit more glue on here. In that area. There we go. I'm just going to get a little bit more baking soda on that too. Oops, I'm making a big old mess. Of course I am, because that's how I do. Big old mess making guy. Alright, I'm going to get a regular toothbrush. And I'm going to take this off camera real quick and brush this into the trash. Okay. Then I'm going to set that over there. And I'm going to get my Bullcat. And I'm going to get a little bit of baking soda. Drip down on the leg there, on the leg there. Not on the leg so much, but on the foot to the leg. And there, and there. And since it's a pretty big boring base, let's get a couple bigger rocks on it too. trying to make it look nice. This one's kind of long and cool. We'll get that one, and we'll set it right there. And let's get one over here. And we'll let that dry. Then we'll come back and we will paint it. Now, between part 1 and part 2 here, I'm probably going to have an adult tobacco product and finish this nice cold traditional beverage, American beverage, made at the oldest brewery in the U.S. And then I'm going to spray paint this. Red or black or some color. Then we'll come back and we'll paint it together. And until then, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment. And if you could, check out the website, www.dungeon-swag.com. There's a link in the description. Also in the description, you'll find a discount code for 25% off your first month of our subscription service, where you get a box of orcs or gnolls or goblins or bugbears or some kind of creature, maybe a dwarf, or maybe dwarves, maybe elves, maybe a box of heroes, whatever it may be, each month sent to your house. And these are curated by... there's only 2 people that work for the company. We're a small company. We're out working out of our basements and garages here. So it's curated by us. And you'll like these miniatures, I'm guessing, because I like them, and that's why I pick them, and that's why he picks them. And so check that out. And then also there's a link down there to our Discord where you can hang out with us, paint, draw, color, play video games, play RPGs. Right now we're having this contest where we're trying to make the best tardigrade 3D model, whether it be through morphing minis together or making it from scratch or crocheting it or felting it or however 3D model you have, carving it out of wood, whatever. We're just having a contest because one guy's a smart aleck and it started a contest. So, hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.